I'm Tammy Beilstein. Welcome to Tammy's Window on Calaveras. I have with me today Lisa Boulton, and you guys may remember her from this station. She had a show here a while back, and if you go to any of the interesting and unique places in our county, you've probably seen Lisa. She knows all about everything. But Lisa is from the Calaveras County Visitors Bureau, and she's going to talk to us today about that. I'm going to want to swipe some of these before I leave. So
yeah, please do.
Because
they're for
these
everyone.
are incredible.
Yes.
Tell us, tell us about yourself. And
about me?
How long have you been there? It seems like a long time.
Well, I have been with the Calaveras Visitors Bureau now for 5 years, coming up on 5 years.
Okay.
And before that, I was 13 years as the marketing director for Cave and Mine Adventures.
That's right.
Right. And at that time, it was California Cavern, Mooney Cavern, Black Chasm Cavern, Boulton Cavern, Sutter Gold Mine, and Gold Cliff Mine.
I don't remember that.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, but there was a lot to it. So, and then I was also on the board with the Calaveras Visitors Bureau before I ever came on as the executive, or was hired as the executive director, I should say.
What got you interested in doing this? Is it just the adventure and learning about the interesting places in the community, or do you like the people part of it? What do you like the most?
That's a great question. So getting into tourism marketing in the beginning with Cave and Mine Adventures, I had lots of marketing experience. That's actually my entire experience. So I had about 20 years marketing experience before I started working for them.
Whoa.
Maybe not quite that long. I'm losing track these days and getting old enough that it all just blends together.
But all blend together.
Anyway, so I worked in Silicon Valley in marketing, and then I vacationed in Calaveras County and loved it so much. Didn't want to ever go back when I had to go back each year. And then I got to eventually move out to Calaveras.
Yeah.
And landed this amazing job working for Cave and Mine Adventures. And there was so much to love about it. I mean, learning about all of the history of the caves and the natural environment, and the geology and the people, and just enhancing the visitor experience and all of the customer service side as well as the marketing side, and then meeting the people in the tourism industry in Calaveras County in general and making partnerships with them. Just a really, really wonderful community, and just really enjoyable to work with lots of lots of people with really great ideas.
When you were in Silicon Valley, were you doing tourism in that area?
No, I was marketing semiconductor manufacturing, and I also did landscape marketing. So
whoa,
yeah, so I did a wide variety. But yeah, my whole experience.
Not even close.
Not even close. This is such a nice industry. Such a more pleasurable, fun industry, and it really enhances people's lives.
So once you know marketing, are you able? Is that normal that you can go from one type of marketing to another type of marketing?
I suppose that people have done it before, but it was really different. And I learned tourism marketing really from my boss, Stephen Fairchild. I mean, the kind of marketing, and the kind of marketing that I'd come in from was somewhat different. So learning how tourism marketing works and the integration with the regional tourism marketing groups, that was all something I learned from him.
Oh, wow. That's right, because you're not just promoting Calaveras to Calaveras, Amador, Tuolumne people. You go over the whole country?
We do a little bit of that. We even do some international, but the majority of our focus on marketing is outside of the county, and we generally market most to our drive markets, which happen to be Northern California and Southern California. Not so much the
drive
central.
Market means the people who are close enough that they can drive here.
Correct. Yes.
Isn't that silly? Why was I thinking that I don't know why I was thinking that you were focusing on Calaveras people. That doesn't even make sense. So of course you're looking to...
It makes sense to market to locals as well. Not quite so much for us because we are a destination marketing organization. We're about we're about growing the economy, and so bringing people from outside. When people come further on vacation, they tend to stay longer and spend more, so that's better for the economy.
Nice.
But it also makes sense for us to make sure that locals know about all there is to see and do in the county, because we have very many vacation properties and second home owners in Calaveras, and they tend to bring up their families and friends, and sometimes they rent out their property to, through vacation rental services. And so letting those people also know everything there is to see and do is also beneficial. And really, truthfully, very often you need a local market to help support that round the seasons.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. So,
That's so interesting. You guys have a beautiful website.
Thank you.
So you have all this information on your website, and do you also have, like, if someone is coming from out of the area, where they can find rentals and hotels and those sorts of places on your website?
We do. We have all of that information on our website. And actually, we're right now working on producing a brand new website that's mobile responsive. So a couple of years ago, when Google had this new requirement that you had to be mobile friendly, we actually developed a separate mobile site. And that ended up being kind of a pared down version of what we currently have. It wasn't comprehensive enough. It didn't tell enough of the story about Calaveras. And really, enticing people to come visit is about telling the story.
Right. And so many people search the internet using their phones.
Right.
It's irritating to me when I'm using my phone trying to find all the information that I know I had seen somewhere, and I go on my phone to find it, to show it to my husband or whoever, and then it says, come visit our website for more information. I'm like,
that is very annoying.
I don't have it with me.
Yeah, sadly, right now what we have, although it is a beautiful website for desktop and for tablet,
it's gorgeous.
It is not mobile responsive as far as going down to those smaller platforms. And so we are working diligently on that. And I'm actually really thrilled. It's going to be a fabulous website. We are, we're more than halfway there. We're planning on having it launched by the end of this fiscal year, which ends in June.
Yeah.
And
it's coming up quick.
Yes. And the really fun thing about the way this new website will work is that we're going to have all of the Google and Yelp reviews for every business. And we're no longer using a member model for our listings.
What does that mean?
Well, so it used to be very common for destination marketing organizations to have a membership. And that membership would buy you a place on their website. It would buy you certain member benefits. And it turned out, if you looked at how those websites were performing, it actually worked a lot better to include everybody that's not a member as well. Because you're actually making the destination much more appealing and showing all of the assets. And so we've been switching over to that new model. And so we'll have every business that could possibly be connected to tourism included in the new website, including write-ups, photos. There's not going to be a limit on the number of words that can be used, so that any business in the county that caters to tourists in any way coming in can submit information that we can include on there.
And it won't cost them anything?
Won't cost them anything. And the great thing is, if they don't already have a website and they don't have good online presence, this will help them really, showcase their business.
Then how is the website and the employees, how is all this paid for if the businesses don't need to pay to be on there?
Well, we do receive funding. So we're privately funded. So our funding comes from, have you heard of the transient occupancy tax?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So that's a tourism tax.
Does that bring in much money?
Well, we received transient occupancy tax, a percentage of what's collected for both the City of Angels Camp and also for the county. And if you look at what we annually receive from both those entities, it's about equal. And that probably comes to between $100,000 and $150,000. Actually, a little bit more.
Really?
And yes. And then we also, one thing we do charge for, because this is a piece that costs quite a bit, is our Calaveras Experience Guide. And that gives all of the detail on everything to see and do that people have paid to be listed in. So, and this brings in between $40,000 and $70,000.
It does.
So it covers the cost of it, which is amazing.
Is that all part of your job, being the? I'll hold this up so people can see what it looks like. That there. This is beautiful. And I see you have picture history. historical?
One of the cool things we did over the last few years was we took what historical maps that different communities had been creating and printing themselves and distributing themselves that was expensive for them to do.
Right.
And so we offered to pull them into our experience guide, which made it much more comprehensive and a better example of the kinds of things you can see and do in Calaveras by including all of that historical information.
Love it.
And then we took that cost away from those community organizations so they didn't have to cover that cost anymore, and it could be distributed here in one place. So we're
and this is made once a year?
It's made once a year. We published 80,000 of them. We distribute them all over Northern California.
Wow.
We do 2 annual trade shows that are the travel and adventure shows in the Bay Area and LA, two top drive markets. And those are actually 2 of the highest attended travel shows in the United States.
Really? In the United States?
Mm-hmm. And then we also do Sunset Celebrations weekend, which is where we pour wine. So we partner with the Calaveras Wine Grape Alliance, and we do a combination of selling Calaveras County as a destination, but we also incorporate that wine element. And we have some really fun little giveaways that we give out there. They are...
Like what?
Well, actually, I can show you in here. They're maybe not in here. They are die-cut bottles that feature each of the varietals that we're particularly known for in Calaveras County, and there are tasting notes on the front. It tells you where you can get that particular wine, and on the back we have a recipe by a local chef, one of our local restaurants, that has created a recipe specifically for that wine varietal.
A great idea.
And those are just giveaways that we give to people, and they love them. So
I bet.
Yeah.
You're probably the same people making loops. Let's go to Calaveras again.
Actually, people generally, when we offer people to take these, they want to take one of every one of them. So, yeah.
Do you let them?
Do I what?
Do you let them do that?
Yes, I do.
Whoa.
Yes, because, it's good PR for Calaveras. It shows that we're not only a fabulous wine destination, we're also a fabulous foodie destination because look what these chefs did. They created wine specific to those varietals.
That's kind of a new thing, isn't it? The foodie thing in Calaveras. Was that your idea? Because I don't remember seeing it a whole long time ago. It seems like it's fairly recent. No,
it wasn't my idea. We do keep up with all of the tourism trends, though. We use several ways of doing that. So we go to the California Outlook Forum every year and Visit California, which is the state's tourism organization, which is funded with $100 million a year. They tell us, they do an amazing amount of research. So if you can think that we have a really pretty small budget for a destination marketing organization, so what we do is we take all of their data and we look at ways that we can integrate those programs that are working and those new fads that are going on in tourism. So we take all that information. Plus, we go to a couple of other educational conferences. One is Destination... it's the Tech Summit for Destination Marketing Association of the West. And they have a tech summit where they tell you all of the latest technical trends and tools that can be used for destination marketing associations to really, grow their
Is that like,
social...
I'm a huge fan of Groupon.
Yes.
And so my husband and I, if we're going to go someplace different, I always check Groupon to either get ideas of where we might want to go, or if I know where we're going, I'll go to see what kind of things I can get a deal on. Do we use Groupon in our county?
My experience with, I tried a Groupon at Cave and Mine Adventures, and our experience was, and so maybe this is not, you're not the typical customer, but our experience was that the kinds of people that we pulled in for a special low-priced event were not going to be repeat visitors unless they could get that discount again.
Oh, okay.
So, and the problem with Groupon is it seems like a really great model, and it is for the consumer, but for the businesses that are investing in it, it turns out to be a
a loss?
A loss. It's a net loss for them. And the way that Groupon sells it to them is they say that it's a marketing tool because you can get out to a group of people that you wouldn't otherwise.
Right.
But if that same group of people is not going to be a regular customer, then you don't really recoup those dollars.
Oh, so that makes sense.
You can use it for a special event. So for instance, if you wanted to get... So there are strategies that you can use for Groupon. You might decide to implement a Groupon for a brand new event, for instance, to get the word out more about it, and then just make it as enticing as possible once they're there, so that, and find some incentive for them to return. But if you're a regular business and you're offering your regular, offer, but you're just, making it a little less expensive, those people are very unlikely to come back again at your regular pricing.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
that's how your marketing brain works. I'd never think of that sort of thing. It wouldn't occur to me. Is there something new coming that we don't know about yet? Some exciting new sort of marketing tool or giveaways or like the foodie thing? Is there some new trend coming? We're always working on new trends. Video is becoming a new trend, so we're talking about doing some really cool little videos. If you can do something that's a minute or less, you get high engagement on your social media. And so we were just at the Tech Summit, and we decided we would do a series of videos that would be answering some of the questions that we have that come into the visitor center all the time, like what's the best cave? We can't possibly answer that question because we think they're all phenomenal and they're all very different. So how about if we got a fan of each one to say why that cave is best? That is such a great idea.
And then we edit it down so that it's just a minute long. And you've got people who are emotionally invested in saying this is best because. And then just upload that and allow people to decide for themselves.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. Well, we want to start doing a series of those. My other favorite idea is to do one that is on how to spot a giant sequoia. Because that sounds weird, right? Isn't a giant sequoia the biggest tree in the forest?
You'd think that, that it'd be easy to spot one.
But have you seen what a juvenile giant sequoia looks like?
No.
It looks entirely different. It looks nothing like an adult giant sequoia tree. And then not only that, but they also have the smallest pine cones in the forest.
The biggest tree has the smallest pine cones?
The biggest tree has the smallest pine cones.
Oh.
So there's like a little bit of humor added into that
I just thought it was something naughty, but I won't say it. Go ahead. I won't say it.
Come on, Tammy.
You probably know where my head's going.
There are some fun things we're working on. We want to. So every year we do a marketing budget. And we work on a fiscal year, so we will present our budget to our board, usually in May or June, our proposed budget. And then we'll give all of the reason and what we expect the ROI to be on all of the items that we're investing in.
What's ROI?
Return on investment.
Okay.
So how successful we expect all these marketing programs to be.
Wow.
And then we get questions from the board, and then we go line item by line item, and we're so careful on how we spend our money. But we get approval from the board before we go forward.
So this board is the board for the Visitors Bureau. You're not talking about like the Board of Supervisors or...
No.
Okay.
This is the Calaveras Visitors Bureau board, which is a 9-person board.
Okay.
And we have, what we like to do on our board is we like to have a nice variety of individuals representing the different tourism assets in the county. So we like to have somebody from retail, we like to have someone from recreation, from wine, and, lodging. So we have a broad coverage, and then we also like to have coverage from around the geographical locations. Calaveras is big, and it has a lot of different kind of like little micro climates, not only, but each one has its own individual personality.
It's so spread out, and every town feels different from the next one.
Right, right, exactly. So we like to have a nice broad makeup so that we're representing the different areas and we're representing those different tourism assets and the different categories of tourism. And so that's how we do it. And we actually send that out to our members. And now, since we're not a member model anymore, that's every tourism business in the county. We will send out for this next ballot, when we have them on the ballot, we'll send that out to every tourism-related business in the county and have them vote, and there'll also be write-in votes so that we'll know who they want on the ballot. And then we'll have our elections, and that's how that happens.
I had no idea this happened. All this behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
That's behind-the-scenes stuff. That reminds me, for a while, were you guys involved in bringing movie and television people here to? Is that the same? The Visitors Bureau?
I'm also the film commissioner.
That's how I've connected you at that. You're involved in everything, young lady.
It's actually kind of tough to put in the kind of time and energy that a really successful film commission needs. But so because we are working so very, very hard on marketing the county, I actually mostly just respond to requests for filming in the county. But there was one point when I was at the LA Travel and Adventure Show, and I had scouts from Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares come and actually Hotel Hell was the particular show that they were scouting for locations for that. So I came back from that show and I spent significant amount of time coming up with a list of properties that fell within the parameters that they were looking for, and approached those property owners and asked them how they would feel about being featured on the show, and eventually we got Murphy's Historic Hotel featured.
Right. That was fun.
Yeah.
Those guys cracked me up. The guys who own that hotel. Oh my God, I love them. I love them. They are so funny.
They are, and they were so brave. They were so brave, and they ended up being the season finale because they were the best show out of the whole season.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know it was fairly controversial what the coverage ended up being, but it's had definitely a very positive impact. So yeah.
Oh, that is so fun.
Yeah.
It's so weird how, I was just telling somebody else this, it's so weird how you don't even realize what goes on or what work goes into doing all of these things that you do, or all the people that are involved. It's just incredible.
Well, we actually have a very kind of skeleton staff.
Do you?
Yeah. Well,
you guys get so much done.
We actually actually we just expanded it very recently, so I am so thrilled.
Good.
But so I'm the only full-time person.
Okay.
Then we have our new social media manager, Cadence, who is working 4 days a week. Sandy, who's our office manager, who also does HR, she works 3 days a week. And then we have Caitlin, who works 3 or 4 days a week, and she does visitor services. And then we have Nola, who works 2 days a week on visitor services as well.
And that's it?
That's it.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
When you started naming people, I'm thinking, wait, how long are we going to... That's it?
That's it. I know, it's crazy. We are very dedicated to working very, very hard for the benefit of Calaveras tourism.
I have seen your pictures online when you guys go to like state fairs or places like that. I don't know if it's the state fair that I saw you at, but you guys are everywhere. Do you have volunteers who help you also?
Well, with the state fair, we had a major volunteer program that was headed up by Diane Kriletich, and she was amazing. But this year we actually decided not to do state fair.
Okay.
And which is really sad in a way, because I know that it's great for community pride, but it's a very expensive proposition.
Yes.
And actually, the very first year that I came in, I found a way to track. I found a tracking mechanism I could use to see what the return on investment was for those $15,000 and all of that time and energy, because I would end up working on a lot of the design for the booth too. So. We basically made it so that people could redeem a VIP card, and out of all of the thousands of experience guides that we gave out and the nearly 2 weeks that the state fair runs, we got literally 17 responses for that. And now that's not completely definitive, because we know that people lose their cards and they're still going to be inspired to come out.
But you'd think there'd be more than that.
But they would have, there should have been significantly more than that, because we gave away thousands of experience guides.
Shoot.
And I know that, our volunteers, we so appreciate everything they did, and we know they were so dedicated, and we're really sad to not be doing it.
Right.
But it just, when we looked at all of the marketing programs that we were doing, and we could justify every single one of them, and know that we were reaching our markets and inspiring visitation to Calaveras, this one, unfortunately, just wasn't doing it.
You don't get the ROI.
No.
Right?
Good job.
Thank you. But I can only imagine the state fair, how much time and money and effort that takes, because when the smaller businesses do just the county fair, it's such a big ordeal. You have to have somebody there all the time at the booth. It's expensive.
Right.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I was super impressed when you guys were at the state fair, just because I would compare it to that. Like, holy cow, you're pulling that off. That's awesome. But there's probably a whole lot of other ways you can use your energy. Right.
So one thing that we are doing with the same booth builder, because he's so talented, he does such wonderful work. Yeah. He is redesigning our Capitol window display. I don't know if you know, at the state Capitol they have a window for each county.
I remember seeing that years ago.
And Calaveras County has not been updated for very many years. Wow. It's very outdated. So Richard Bay, who is our previous booth builder for the State Fair exhibit, he's doing the Capitol window, and he's doing a phenomenal job.
Oh, that's great.
It should be completed within a few weeks. So I'm really excited. It has a Mark Twain theme. He's built this Mark Twain puppet. It's going to have Ironstone's crystal and gold replica inside inside the window.
That's neat.
Plus, one thing that we did a kind of a survey of all of the windows and what might be missing, and they have many school groups that go through there.
Right.
And
that's how I saw it years ago. When one of my kids went and did a field trip there. That's how I saw it.
So the one thing we noticed was there is nothing interactive that kids can do. So we're having a Spot the Frog contest in our Capitol window. So there'll be lots of little hidden frogs. Yeah. And then they'll have to send off the number that they discovered in an email to us. Okay. And then they'll be entered to win a big prize.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
You're full of them.
Oh my gosh, we have so many ideas. We just don't have time to do them all.
Oh my Lord, I'm gonna have to pick your brain sometime about our the things that we have going. We literally have like 2 minutes left. If somebody wants to get into this publication, when do they need to have their info to you?
I would say to go ahead and email us now. We actually start working on this annual guide. We usually get it published right in January or the very end of January. Okay. So to get into the experience guide, probably in October is when we would need their information. But they can email us now, and what we'll do is we'll put them in a file that we have already set up to reach out to people. Everything else, though, does not cost anything. Okay. So if they want to be... Everybody that has an event going on that's open to the public should email us at...
To get on your website?
Yes, at info@gocalaveras.com to get their information on our website. And, that's free for everybody.
Perfect. So. Thank you so much for being here. This was really fun. And I'm taking a couple of these.
Well, what we do is we keep boxes of these on our back deck. At the Visitor Center in historic downtown Angels Camp. Yep. And any business, any real estate agent, anybody that has friends and family that come and stay in their second home, welcome to pick these up. Any business that wants to let people know other things to see and do in the county, that's what those are there for. Perfect. So we distribute them all over Northern California, but we also keep a supply in Calaveras for Calaveras businesses to come and use.
Well, now you all know where to go to get them. These are beautiful, and I'm so glad that Lisa was here. We learned so much today. Thank you. Come back.
You're so welcome. Okay. I would love to.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Tammy's Window on Calaveras.